Welcome back to another Explainer. Today, we are diving into something that is just incredibly fun, but also surprisingly deep. We're going to take a piece of minimalist art, specifically a quick 60-second stick figure comedy, and we're going to treat it like the high-stakes cinematic masterpiece it actually is. Our focus today is our analysis, the anatomy of a premature escape. It's this fast-paced little story of a stickman trying to break out of prison, but the underlying narrative architecture, it is literally brilliant. I'm so excited to walk you through this because the creator somehow manages to pack intense suspense, character development, and this massive philosophical punchline into just 1 minute of white backgrounds and gray lines.
So let's jump right into the cold open. Right away, bam, we meet our desperate protagonist. He's sitting on the floor, leaning against this stark prison wall, and he utters that absolute classic line of confinement, I must get out of here. And by bringing that thought right up front, the creator instantly hooks us into his world. There's no long, drawn-out backstory, right? No boring trial scene. We are dropped right in the middle of the action, and we instantly align our own desire for freedom with his. It's just incredibly efficient storytelling.
And then the voiceover narrator steps in to set these massive dramatic stakes right off the bat, declaring, Stickman was in prison through no fault of his own. Wow. With just those few words, we feel the heavy burden of wrongful incarceration. He's not just some prisoner, he is a victim of a completely broken system. This instantly establishes a really bleak, serious tone in that gray little cell, making us root for him even harder. We are basically primed to watch a gritty Shawshank-style redemption arc.
Now, to really appreciate this, we have to look at the pacing. The creator condenses what should be a feature-length prison break into just 60 frantic seconds. Think about that timeline for a second. In the first 5 seconds, the whole setting and motivation are locked in. By the 15 to 25 second mark, we're already hitting our major conflict with the guard. And right at the 50-second mark, we hit the twist ending, the whole punchline. It is an absolute masterclass in how to engineer tension and release without wasting a single second.
All right, let's look at Spoon and Soap, the plan. This is where we get to see his ingenious MacGyver-style operation come to life. The narrator gives us this fantastic little detail, telling us he had no strength, but he had brains. So he looks around, spots a small window, a simple spoon, and a bar of soap. He isn't going to punch his way out, he's going to engineer his way out. And this perfectly illustrates his absurd yet somehow mathematically sound logic. He genuinely believes that step 1, a spoon, plus step 2, a bar of soap, equals step 3, freedom. It is hilarious because it's this incredibly minimalist logic applied to an impossibly complex real-world problem. But, because the narrator has totally sold us on his genius, we buy into the equation right alongside him. We absolutely want to see exactly how these two mundane items are going to conquer solid concrete. Which brings us to suspense, digging to freedom. We move from plotting right into execution, and the animation style really shines here. The music switches to this fast, funny beat, and we get the visceral, repetitive audio of dig, dig, dig as he scrapes that spoon against the wall. It's your classic suspense trope, the grueling physical labor of the escape. You literally feel the tension rising with every single scrape. But of course, no escape is complete without a heart-stopping near miss. The suspense just skyrockets when a guard's footsteps approach and interrupt the digging with a really sharp, "Hey, are you okay?" Our hero is totally backed into a corner, holding a spoon in a half-dug hole, and he's forced to improvise on the spot. And his panicked excuse? "I'm just praying." It is such a quick, human, and universally relatable moment, getting caught and just throwing out the most innocent-sounding excuse imaginable. The guard buys it and walks away, and we all let out a huge sigh of relief. But we're not out of the woods yet. As he keeps going, the tunnel actually starts to collapse on him. This is the classic all is lost moment of our tiny 60-second film. He actually yells out, "Ah, not today," as the rocks start coming down. But hey, remember that bar of soap from his brilliant equation earlier? He pulls it out, and in a stroke of absolute cartoon genius, he uses it to physically lubricate himself, just sliding his way right out of the collapsing tunnel with this totally cinematic whoosh sound. And that sets us up for the twist, the premature escape. He finally breaks out into the cool night air. We switch from the cramped, claustrophobic cell to the wide-open outside world. And the audio design brilliantly shifts gears here too. It drops those high suspense beats and goes straight into the ultimate comedy drop. He throws his hands up, yells out for freedom, and takes in the sweet taste of victory. But this is exactly where the rug gets pulled out from under him, and us.
We completely drop the documentary seriousness to look at expectation versus reality. We have this triumphant expectation pushed by the overly dramatic narrator proclaiming, when the system rejected him, he didn't reject himself. It's poetic, right? It's powerful. But then we hit the brutal, deadpan reality. Waiting for him, right outside the tunnel, are the police. They are completely unbothered, and they just look at him and say, "You were finishing your sentence today."
Oh man. Finding out his sentence was naturally ending on this exact day, meaning all that frantic digging, lying to the guard, the near-death tunnel collapse with the soap, it was all for absolutely nothing. Our protagonist is just shattered. He doesn't scream, he doesn't fight the cops, he just utters this incredibly defeated, perfectly timed, "Are you kidding me?" The comedic timing is just chef's kiss. All that intense dramatic buildup for a completely pointless effort.
Okay, let's unpack this in our final section. Think before you escape. The real crux here is how this brilliant punchline actually holds a mirror up to our own lives. Yes, it's a funny internet video about a stick figure, but it hits the nail on the head regarding our very real human tendency to overcomplicate things. We create massive amounts of stress for ourselves, we put in exhausting effort, and we take totally unnecessary risks just because we feel this urgent need to act or to fix a problem right this very second. It really begs a profound question for all of us. What is your premature escape? Seriously, think about it. How often do we panic in our careers, in our relationships, or with our personal goals and start aggressively digging a tunnel with a spoon just to force a result? How often do we totally exhaust ourselves fighting a system when all we actually needed to do was just wait one more day for the door to naturally open? It's such a hilarious, perfect metaphor for impatience and self-sabotage.
And that leaves us with this final thought, a really unforgettable reminder to just pause, assess your actual situation, and check the facts. Before you start frantically digging through the walls of your life with a spoon and a bar of soap, maybe just ask yourself, is the door already unlocked? Are there walls in your life right now that only exist because you haven't bothered to check the handle? It is a wonderful reminder to just laugh at the irony of life sometimes. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. I'll catch you next time.